I want to talk about the African identity as Egyptians. I get comments from different Egyptians from all walks of life, in and outside of Egypt, all ages, who say stuff like, I identify more with culture than with geographical location, and we have more in common with West Asians or Middle Easterners than we do with other Africans. That's why I personally, as a Saudiya, like a Southern Egyptian, find a lot in common, more in common with Sudanese than I do with Iranians, for example, who are Middle Easterners. However, I find this argument in general flawed because how do you know if you have more in common with West Asians than you do with other Africans if you actually don't seek to learn about other African cultures? Did you know that so many of our Egyptian indigenous traditions we share with other East Africans? And not just traditions, also history and foods and all that kind of stuff. The amount of times I've seen East Africans in my comment section when I make a video about, Egyptian traditions or ancient traditions that we still do today, or like specific foods. The amount of East Africans I have in my comments telling me that, oh my God, we do this too, or we have this too, and we just have this tiny little detail that is different, or we add this ingredient or whatever. There is so much we have in common. And it's not just East Africans, by the way. Like, I was so shocked to find out that even in West Africa, they eat molokhaya. I mean, it's not called molokhaya, it's called ewedu soup, but it is molokhaya. We share very similar values. Most of us share similar religions, as in, Islam or Christianity. We have a lot in common with each other. The one thing that stands in the way, and I think you know it, is xenophobia and racism. And I really had to unpack these things for myself as well, because I was also raised this way. I really had to go back and unpack my upbringing and the way that I was socialized. And I did come to the same conclusion. It is internalized racism and xenophobia. I did have to work on myself as well. And I came up at the end of that proudly African and even more loving of myself and my identity that incorporates different things.